Welcome back to the channel, everyone. If you are brand new, my name is New, and on this channel, we strive to keep you positive in life and in your bank account. So, credit scores, yes, maybe a boring topic for some, but for most, it's so important. It's almost like you need that constant reminder from a little fairy named Navi saying, hey, listen, you need to remember your credit score. Let's see, Navi, why do I need to remember it? Well, probably because you need to go ahead and have a great credit score in order to get any kind of good deal and to save the most money to get yourself on your way to that financial freedom you wish to have. But to break it down into its most basic form, what is a credit score? Well, for all you gamers out there, it's kind of similar to the Fallout New Vegas system of karma. If you go ahead and do good things with your money, you make on-time payments, you don't open up too many credit cards, and you're not overspending, then your karma goes up or your credit score goes up. But on the other hand, if you go ahead and rack up all of your credit cards and max them out, you make late payments, and you just in general don't pay off anyone you borrow money from, well then that's kind of bad karma, and it's going to go way down. Now, the lowest credit score you can go ahead and get is a 300, and the highest you can get is an 850. The most commonly way to try and score your credit score is through the FICO credit score. The other way is through the Vantage. Vantage is used actually by Credit Karma. So whenever you go on Credit Karma and you're trying to figure out your credit score from Equifax or from TransUnion, well then you're going to be seeing the score based on Vantage. And then in places like the Experian app, you're going to go and find a score based off of the FICO score. The FICO score has tended to be the one that most lenders go by. You should definitely know this when you go out to get a new loan for a car, or if you're trying to buy a house or get a new line of credit, because if you're going to do that and you're going off of the Vantage score that is done by Credit Karma, then you might have a difference in scoring compared to the FICO score to your Vantage score. And then when those places pull your credit and it's different from what you thought it was, well then now you know why. So now we know a couple basic points. We have the FICO score that scores your credit score, and then we have the Vantage one that scores your credit score. A little bit different between each one, and we'll get into that in a second, but you also need to know that there are 3 credit bureaus. I mentioned them briefly. There's the Equifax, the Experian, and the TransUnion. These are the 3 credit bureaus that your credit companies and your lenders are going to be scoring you on and sending that information to them, so then they will have that information for other lenders when you go and get a new line of credit or a loan. And we also know the basics that a 300 is a very poor score, and an 850 is the maxed out excellent score for your credit scores. You're probably thinking, all right, that's nice. So there's a very poor score and there's an excellent score, but what's all the in between? Well, let me go ahead and show you that. So as you can see, the FICO goes off of a system going from 300 to 559 as very poor, 560 to 649 is poor, 650 to 699 is fair, 700 to 749 is good, and 750 and above is an excellent score. Then we're going over to the Vantage. 300 to 579 is very poor, 580 to 639 is poor, 640 to 699 is fair, 700 to 749 is good, and 750 and above is excellent. All right, so let me go ahead and pull this slide over here, and then let's go ahead and look at the average American and what they score on the FICO or the Vantage, and let's also look at the percentage of people who have over an 800 score. So if we look at over here, the average American has a score of 711 for the FICO, and then for the Vantage, the average American has a 688. So it just goes to show the average American has either a good or a fair score based on which one is being used to score them. Now, I can't wait to show you guys this one. The average person with a score over 800 in America is 21.8% of Americans. That's holy cow! So I did state in the beginning that the reason why you want to go ahead and have a high score is to leverage your money so you can actually save more money and be well on your way to getting financial freedom. Well, to be truthful here, I'm going to show you a small example of why this is all important. So I went ahead and went on myfico.com, and I wanted to go ahead and do a bit of a calculation between having different credit scores and how it would affect me if I wanted to get a loan on a house. So we're going with a regular 30-year fixed mortgage. We're just going to go national. We're not even go by state, and let's go ahead and just enter in something like $150,000. Let's go ahead and do that, and let's go ahead and select our range. So let's say we have a good score. Let's go ahead and go from a good score right there and calculate. Boom! It shows you exactly where you would be from your monthly payments to your total interest paid over time based on the different scores you would have. This is insane. Look at this. If you had an excellent score, your total interest paid on a $150,000 loan would be $67,118. Now, if you go ahead and go to the lowest score, your interest paid would be $114,763. So I'm going to go ahead and do the math for you on this one. The difference between the highest score and the lowest score and the amount of interest paid is $47,645. So right there, that alone tells you how much money you can save yourself and the better deal you can get yourself by having a higher credit score. So you're probably like, all right, that's cool and everything. Great information. How do I get the benefits that everyone else gets that has a good or excellent score? Well, to go on and break this down, we're going to jump over to Credit Karma and we're going to show you exactly what it all comes down to. So one of the highest impacts on your credit score has to do with your payment history. Literally anything under a 99% on-time payment from any of your lenders or any of your credit lines will lead you into the yellow at 98% and will have a high impact on your credit score. Credit Karma does have a fantastic way of breaking this down by telling you what to know. So a 30 or 60 day missed payment is easier to recover from, but can definitely hurt your credit score significantly. 90-day missed payments are horrible, and anything after that is even worse because it could go ahead and leave a higher impact mark on your credit score. And the next one being right here, the derogatory, I have a horrible time saying that, marks. So if you went ahead and got a collections on you, then it would go ahead and throw it over here, which will be showed up on your credit score and has a huge impact on your credit score and how it is scored when you go to other lenders. Okay, now that we got those two ones out of the way, we have another high impact, and that has to do with your credit card use or your credit utilization. You usually want to keep your credit utilization below 10%. Although keeping it under 30% will leave you in the yellow mark, which tends to give you about a poor to good score when you're being scored on your credit score. So I'm going to show you a really cool trick about this. So let's say you have a credit card through Capital One. Capital One gives you a credit limit of $1,000. Great. You go ahead and spend $500 of it on your credit card. That's really bad because that means you are using 50% of your credit utilization. So technically what you only want to spend on that credit card is $100. That keeps it below, or that keeps it at 10%, which is really good. Now let's say you get another credit card through Discover and they give you a credit limit of $1,000. Well, now you can go ahead and spend $200 and your credit utilization will be at 10%. So that's a really cool trick to go ahead and get your way when you want to go ahead and spend a little bit more on your credit cards and keep yourself under the 10%. So if you have a credit card with $1,000 and another credit card with $1,000, your credit utilization to keep it under 10% or at 10% would be $200. Another thing that has a low impact on your score but still has an impact on your score is your total accounts open. So if you have more open accounts, more lines of credit, more loans out, you will have a better credit score. Sounds kind of funny, right? But this is very true. So if you have over 11 accounts open in total, your credit score is in the green zone. You're good to go. You are exactly where you need to be for how many open lines of credit you have. On the contrary, every time you go to open a new line of credit, it creates a hard inquiry on you. This also has a low impact on your score though. And these hard inquiries will drop off your credit completely within 2 years, and their impact will drop off within 1 year. But it's kind of weird, right? So they want you to have a lot of lines open, but they don't want you to have a lot of hard inquiries. Well, that's kind of contradictive, isn't it? Well, yes, at first. So let's say you're trying to go find a new car. You need to go buy a new car and you want to shop around and get the best rate. Well, when you go out to the dealership and they pull your credit 5 times, you're thinking, oh crap, that's going to be 5 hard inquiries on my credit score. Not quite. They do allow you to go ahead and pull a bunch of different lines of credit on your credit score within a short amount of time as you're shopping around for that car. This is a great way for people to go ahead and make sure they're getting the best rate possible and they're getting the car they want without the penalty of completely destroying their credit score. Now, this doesn't last forever, so you can't just go and try and get a loan on a car and then 6 months later try and do it again and not expect to have a bunch of hard inquiries on your credit. Now, the last thing to go ahead and really impact your credit score has a medium impact, and it's your credit age. You need to have at least 7 to 8 years of credit age. Another great tip is actually under this what to know. You do not want to close off old credit cards unless they're costing you more money in fees annually than it's worth. If you had that credit card for over 5 years and then you go ahead and close it, well, guess what? Those 5 years of credit age just boom, gone, disappeared, and so your credit score will drop along with it. So honestly, the best thing you can do here is just be patient. Honestly, this is the one thing on your credit score that you can't really do much about. There was such a thing as called piggybacking, where you could actually be put under a credit card that was used by maybe your parent, and your parent had had that credit card for over 8 years, but they've really started to crack down on that, so you might not be able to do that. But if you can, that would significantly increase your chances of increasing your credit score, and so you wouldn't have to wait 7 to 8 years to get it up to be perfect. As we're wrapping everything up, let me go ahead and give you another hint of advice. Is there such thing as mixed credit, and all that means is that your car loan, your house loan, and your credit cards are all considered different types of credit, and that's a bit of mixed credit, and it's good to have all three of those. Another good thing is to smash that subscribe button, because it would help me out tremendously if this has helped you out tremendously. Or even if it helped you out just a little bit, if it gave you a little bit more insight on credit scores and how to go ahead and increase it, and how much of a difference it makes when you're trying to save money in the long term and get yourself closer to financial freedom, definitely subscribe to the channel and stick around for future episodes that I'll be coming out with that have so much more to deal with saving your money and getting you closer to financial freedom. Anyways, guys, good luck in all your endeavors and getting your credit score up along with that 21% of Americans. I bid you adieu, and I'll see you in the next one.